guys. This is Lord of the Lost Under the Sun. Um, as y'all have seen, if you've been here at all, or if you look through the thingamabobs, we've done some Lord of the Lost in the past. This is another suggestion, Under the Sun. Haven't heard the song. Haven't seen the video, clearly. That's about all I got to say, besides you know how to use the buttons. Yeah. So, let's watch and listen. Whoop, whoop.
Natural discipline, a prestige, your purpose, my passions to lurk within. Am I weak and given to lust? Am I strong to do what I must? Under the sun, we all share the glow, but some of us feel the black heat of true love. Falling free from the orbit of lies, lovers' dreams. When I close my eyes under the sun, under the sun, under the sun. There's a point before the deed to which you can't return. When thoughts bleed into action, guilt finds it hard to burn. Am I weak and given to lust? Am I strong to do what I must? Under the sun, we all share the glow. Some of us feel the black heat of true love.
Hey, I wanted to make sure I put my glasses on there so I could read and not have things be too fuzzy. Again, I'm enjoying how various artists are putting in credits at points. Um, yeah, had my toast happen. Yeah, most definitely. Um, I was a little worried at first, honestly, when it came on because it had a there was a sharp sound, and it might have been the cymbals. I can't recall correctly because it was just like because of the nature of the sound. My head wants to say it was cymbals, but I'm not sure, and I'm not willing to go back and check. Not negativity about the song. I'm about to explain. Um, because it was I assume it was cymbals because it was sharp or metallic feeling. Um, but it could have been something else. Um, but I was a little worried, and I was like, am I going to have to turn it down, or am I going to maybe even have to turn it off? I don't know. Let's see how this progresses. Because I both have hearing damage and very sensitive ears. uh, I won't go into the whole big story about it, and waste your time, at least during this video, as the beginning was already a little drawn out on a few that I've been doing lately. Um, but I have damage to my ears um, from when I was preteens or something like that. Um, where now I can't hear certain tones. Um, and it's very like very selective. It's like just like I can hear the semitone, but maybe even like maybe not the next semitone, but then the next one fine. Or maybe like I just can't quite hear enough of the harmonics of a particular note to fully catch it unless it's tied to other sounds. And it's very wonky. So like when people talk to me, uh, a lot depending on what type of voice they have, um, I'll be able to sometimes hear them perfectly fine, but most of the times it's like I'm like missing like parts of letters, or like I'm kind of or oh dear God, like some people, if like especially guys, if they have a cold or something, somebody with a lower voice that has a cold, something about that combination of sinusy and lower tone, once in a while it'll be like just right that I can't hear a goddamn thing. It's like I'm one of those people that I will be standing in a parking lot and a friend will have to like grab a hold of me and haul me out of the way of a car because I couldn't hear it as it was like idling up through and trying to like get past me. I had no clue it was there because it was just like that perfect pitch that I could not tell. But I can still like sense things, you can still feel even what you can't the things that you can't hear, right? Um so like I'll be able to like if somebody calls my name or says something behind me or whatever in the room, I'll still like know to turn around or I know that they're speaking, but I won't or like if like there's a TV show that I'm really interested in seeing, but the way they mix the sound, I would have to be locked into like reading the subtitles on an English show. Because I can't hear a goddamn thing, even with the subtitles on. It's still just so annoying trying to pick out the voices. It's just like, oh, thank goodness it's not a big problem with music, especially with like modern production, because there's just, you know, there's wonderful work and tuning now that goes in that allows me to pick up a lot more. And I'm not saying like I have a serious issue because I don't. It's just that it makes it a little wonky at times. When I'm like just talking to somebody or if there's noise in a crowd. But thankfully with music I don't really have a problem, and I don't have like a big problem normally talking one-on-one with somebody, because I can differentiate those sounds. But even I have that going on where it's like it gets tricky in certain circumstances. The opposite end of that being slightly deaf in a really kind of weird way. Um, I have where certain sounds are just horrifically, I mean, like physically painful. And I was really concerned about that when this started because whatever that was, symbol, whatever it was, it was hitting that right thing where it felt like somebody was knifing me in the ears. It was just like, and I had to like kind of control my face because I'm like, please let it pass, please let it pass, please let it pass. And it did, and it was all fine and good. So, uh, but no, like I had to like not use one of the subway stations near my apartment in NYC. Thankfully, I was like equidistant between two different subway lines, so I could just use the other one to get further downtown. Um, but I could not use the one train station near me because they were doing jackhammer work on like redoing the front of it, the pavement, and I could only get within about a block before it started hurting. And I tried to like push through, and by the time I got like across the road from it, it was just like one time I went through that subway station when like they paused and I thought I was gonna like get in there, get up the stairs, get onto the landing outdoors, and I'd be okay and I could wait. And they started back in as I was coming up through the stairs, and all the walls are, and it's a small station, so it's a small station with this narrow staircase, and it's all that porcelain tile, and the jackhammer sound from outside just rings through it, and there was no escape because they hadn't stopped. So even when I got up on top, I'm just above it then. So I just didn't go back until they like stopped working it because it was just, and you'll see when like fire alarms go off, that will is like depending on the fire alarm, I could like die of a fire because I like sometimes I just have to like hands over the ears and like just go. And but there have been times when it's just been like such a piercing sound, like some of them are, that I can't function because it's so much pain inside my head that it's just like it's all disorienting and just like, oh, it's just like, oh, it just hurts so bad. Some sounds, and not necessarily always sharp ones, even like some lower tones and like flatter tones and stuff will do it, but certain chest sounds are so painful. And so when that started in this, I was like, oh no, oh no. But like I said, after this very long meandering over and over, thankfully that stopped. It, the music all blended together, and I could still hear things, but it wasn't that, it didn't cause the stabbing sensation, the pain, and the music went together good where you had the different elements of it and textures, and it was very pleasant. It became, the pain stopped, whatever that was stopped being so much like in the forefront of the music, and things just melded together in a way that was comfortable and enjoyable and stuff. And so I was like, oh my god. Once that stopped, I'm like, oh good. But no, that had my feet wiggling and tapping. Um, but no, good stuff. That's another one that goes on the good stuff list. Yep. I don't think it falls into favorites for me of theirs so far, but I would say it's high up there in the list. Not quite sure where it places exactly. I did like it. So that was a whole lot of rambling that didn't really get anywhere. Um, whoops. um, Anywho, later taters. I'll talk to you again soon.